Good afternoon, folks. Rick Kearney here at Earl Stewart Toyota. Now, I've been a Toyota mechanic for a little over 20 years now, and people have asked me all kinds of questions. Some very reasonable, some are a little out there. But let's go today with the 5 most common questions that people seem to ask about their cars. One of the first ones is, what tire pressure should I run in my car? Well, there's actually kind of a gray area there. There are 2 numbers you're going to look for. The first one is on a sticker on the door jamb of the car. That's going to have the manufacturer's recommended lowest tire pressure. Do not run your tires below that pressure level. The second number you're going to look for is on the sidewall of the tire. That's the maximum safe pressure that you can run. Now, like this truck, 35 pounds is the recommended lowest pressure, and the tires are rated to handle up to about 45 pounds. That means anywhere between 35 and 45 is totally safe for me to run in this vehicle. I like to run my tires a little bit harder pressure. The reason being, I get a little better tire wear, and I get better fuel economy. And of course, it's a little bit bumpier ride. Well, there's a downside to everything. But that bumpier ride, you don't notice it so much on these South Florida roadways. And the next question a lot of people ask is about synthetic oil. Now, a few years ago, most people that would ask me that, I'd say, well, I can't tell you that it helps, but it can't hurt. And I ran synthetic oil in my vehicles all the time. This one right now will be getting synthetic oil at its next oil change. However, the manufacturer does not require it. But a lot of the newer cars nowadays do require synthetic oil. Check your owner's manual and look on the oil cap on your engine. If you see it recommending 0W20, or if it says synthetic oil, make sure that that's what you use. If you go to some of these little Jiffy Lube places or your local mechanic, ask him to show you the bottles of the oil that he's pouring in there. That way you know for sure that you're getting a good, high-quality synthetic oil and not some cheap knockoff or maybe recycled or whatever. Make sure you protect yourself. Protecting your engine is a very good idea. Oil changes are cheap insurance, and it'll keep your engine running for hundreds of thousands of miles. Next question a lot of folks ask is about fuel octane. What level of fuel should I run? Am I fine with the 87, the cheap fuel? Do I need to run premium fuel? Well, again, your owner's manual is going to answer that question for you. If your car is rated to handle 87 octane, then you're perfectly safe to run that fuel. However, I do recommend stick with a good, high-quality company name, one of the big brand names, and save all your receipts. But if you find your car's running a little bit rough or you're getting a little bit of extra knocking, especially on those higher mileage cars, try switching up to that next grade of gasoline and see if it cures it out for you. Now, the next question a lot of folks ask is, how soon do I need to change my timing belt? Well, that used to be an issue. 60 to 90,000 miles was recommended by most manufacturers, and it was very important because if that timing belt broke, it could cause damage to your engine. This truck, however, runs a timing chain now, and a lot of companies are now going to a timing chain motor. Timing chains don't have a maintenance interval. They don't need to be changed, and they are lasting so much better that I expect to get an easy 300,000 miles out of this truck before I ever see any concerns or issues. And the last one, well, I started working on Toyota hybrids when they first hit the shores here in the US in 2001. And one of the first questions that people ask is, how far can I drive my hybrid after it runs out of gas? And my answer back to them, why would you run your car out of gas? I know it's a hybrid, but it still runs on gasoline to provide the electricity to drive that car. So folks, it's never a good idea to run your car out of gas. That actually can cause some major issues on today's motors. That's our thought for the day. Have a good day and be safe driving out there.
Earl Stewart.